Good morning everybody, this is Budrich and this is a new episode of Let's Linux. Even though this is a blue screen of death, it's just a wallpaper, don't worry. I call this episode Colors Are Poison, because they are. And yeah, let's just start this, because we will cover a lot of things and we will put most of the focus on this file. It's called .xresources. It lives in your home folder. It's a hidden file because it starts with a dot. If it doesn't exist, you can just create it. And this file here, it's even if it doesn't look like it, it's empty. These are all comments, because to create a comment in Xresources, you put an exclamation mark at the beginning of the line you want to comment out. Let's start by fixing the colors in this terminal. I have prepared a lot of files here. We can take this. I have two color schemes or themes prepared. I have gruvbox here, which is a very common, popular color theme. And I have my good old Solarize, or it's not mine, but it's my favorite theme. But whatever. This is gruvbox. I just pasted in these colors. This is kind of how you define values. And to load these settings, we use this command xrdb -merge and then the path to this Xresources file. We will use this command a lot in this video. And then you enter that in a terminal, and then you have to spawn a new terminal. So I will just quit this and open it again. And now the colors are applied. But the font is really small here. It's not good for a video. So let's fix that also. I have actually prepared it here a bit, but a good way to find fonts, because you have to enter the fonts in this Xresources file in a special way. Type fc-list, then a pipe symbol, because we're making a pipe, to grep, and then search for the font you want. I want Inconsolata. And then you get the first value here is the path to the font. It ends with a TTF normally, if it's a TTF font, of course. And then this is like the format, the name that you want to enter here in Xresources. So I will copy this Inconsolata value, and then I want to use two fonts. I have my custom version of Fixedsys. You can read on my blog how I have what I have done to fix this font, because there were some tricks one had to do to make it work in a terminal, whatever. But of course you can use any fonts you want. We'll use these for now. And this is URxvt specific to use this setting, I guess you figured. And then you type in what you found here, xft : and then the output there from the terminal. You can also set the size, and you can set if you want it to be anti-aliased, which I want for this particular font. But most fonts are better to run without anti-alias, because it's better. It runs faster, your terminal. So we can just add this key here, save, and then merge again, xrdb -merge Xresources, quit the terminal, open it again, and now we have a large, nice, readable font. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Let's look a bit at these colors quickly here. This is like, I don't know if you know, but most terminals are working with like 16 base colors, so to speak. Often it's actually just 8 colors, 0 to 7, they are like the normal colors, and they are used by different terminal applications and stuff, and they usually get one of these 8 colors here. And they are often the same, like red is almost always number 1, green is 2, yellow is 3, blue is 4, magenta is 5, yeah, whatever, and white is 7, black is 0, white is 7, and then you can see here the colors loop again, but these are like different shades of those colors. This is a common way to define colors. Some themes, they only have the first 8 colors defined, and some doesn't have an alternate, they have something completely different here. Maybe they have 8 new colors or different shades of black and white or whatever. So, but this theme, I have actually kind of copy pasted it myself, so it has alternatings. These are often like called bold colors sometimes, or yeah, whatever. Then we have foreground, background, cursor colors defined here. Okay. Maybe we should start our Polybar and the listener script also. Polybar start. I will move this terminal to workspace 2, then open the listener script also, i3 listen.py. If you have no idea what I'm doing now, you have probably not watched my previous videos, which I recommend you to do, because this series is they kind of go together. I just continue where I left off often. So we want these colors to sync here in i3, this title bar here. We want this polybar, the colors, both the font and the font here and the colors and everything, to use the same theme. And the big advantage here is, of course, that we just have to change this file, Xresources, to change the appearance in all kinds of programs. And these are not the only programs. There are many more programs that uses these settings. So it's very, very good to have a good Xresources setting. But this is the solarized or gruvbox color theme. I also have solarized here, which is the one that you can see in Sublime actually. We could do this, just paste it in Solarize. We could even make a comment here. Solarized below. And if I just comment out here, gruvbox colors, make a new merge, quit the terminal, open the terminal again, and now I have the solarized colors in it instead. This is one way to have different themes. You can paste in as many as you want and just comment, toggle the comments, but it's not a good way, and there are many reasons for it. First, you get a very long weird file like this, and second is that you might want to use these colors at different places in the file, and it can be really confusing to remember what is color 12 is. That what? And here we can see also solarized. The first 8 colors, they are like expected, but then it gets weird. Then we have a lot of shades of white here. Just it's a different system, kind of. I think it's base 16, but let's not get stuck on that. But what I wanted to get to was these things. This is the Xresources syntax. We talked about comments, just put an exclamation mark and then you can write anything. You can include files, you can define variables, and you can define classes or resources. And these are actually resources that are defined. But this is how I like to set up themes like this. Here is how my solarized file looks like. We can paste this in also. And here are links to I will post all links that you need and all the files as usual on GitHub and in the show notes. It's Ethan Schoonover. He's American, I believe. He have made this color theme, and he have put a lot of effort into it. I copy here now this definition, and I will explain what I'm doing. And I will paste this at the top actually. So here we define variables. And then you just put a define, then the name you want for the variable. I think I should change this BG and FG, because it's very good to have you don't want the variable names to have the same name as something else in the file. It will become clear soon. And then you just put in the value. So now instead of typing this, I can just write BG. If you define the colors like this, then you can replace these values with BG and then just have one color definition here. I think I'm confusing you a bit here now, but I have prepared this also. Colors, here I have this is like the same as the gruvbox here, but instead of the absolute color value, we have a variable. And to call a variable, you see, you just enter the name. There's no special sign or anything. And you can put these variables anywhere almost in the Xresources file. So if I comment out here now, solarized, now we should get the same results, because this is also solarized, but now instead it uses the variables here. So we will not notice any difference if I quit this and open it again. It's the same colors. There's another very important command line command. That is xrdb-query or query. I think it's often also passed in all here. And then it lists all resources that are defined. So we can see here the same things that these guys. But it doesn't list the variables. This is important to know here now, you will see. But all other values are here, and this is a really cool command because we can use this later to get these values from anywhere. Okay. So that's how you define a variable. Next thing I want to look at before this gets too cluttered is how to include files. And to include a file, you write this. Yeah, we can put it here. Include, hash include, and then the path, the relative path from where your Xresources file are to the file you want to include. And it's important to put this in quotes, double quotes like this. And what this means is that we could put this theme here, for example, in a file. And I showed you, I already have it in a file here. And then we can load these with include, it will like load that file instead of putting everything in the same file like this. So it will appear like it is, whatever, I think you get it. And Xresources, I think it's obvious that you should have Xresources in a folder called Xfiles. Of course. I think I've seen this in some .files repo, so I can't take credit of this amazing name for a folder, but this is a place, a location, and these are the same files that are in here. You can see they are links. So here in my Xfiles folder, I have a folder called themes, and Xfiles is in my home folder, and Xresources is also in my home folder. So the relative path would be Xfiles / themes / solarized dark for this file, for example. So now I can remove these. Or maybe we should take, yeah, we can duplicate this, comment it out. And then you see I have gruvbox here as well. It's the other theme. So let's load that instead. So you see the change, gruvbox. So now it will load this gruvbox file with just variable definitions. And then in Xresources, those variables will be applied to these resources. So if I save now and merge, quit this terminal, open it again, and now you can see we have the gruvbox colors even though they are defined in a different file. And I actually like to put this part also. It's just boring to look at. You will never look at this again. You will just look at the theme files. So I have this in a file called colors inside Xfiles. It's this file. Yeah, it's the same thing, you know. So we can delete this. But here it's very important that you make the variable definitions before you apply them to a resource. Did we call it colors? Yes, we did, and we can remove this as well. And we can remove this as well. So now, yeah, we can toggle here. If I load solarized theme, it will load the variables, and then it will apply the variables to colors here in Xfiles. Merge, quit, load, solarized. So just this, now it's really easy to toggle the theme from here, but we will make it even more convenient later. And I would also like you will probably end up with definitions or resource definitions for many programs, and I have my special file here for URxvt. I have that here also in Xfiles. So let's include that file as well, and then we will get rid of those ugly scroll bars and get an even nicer terminal. And I will also paste this font definition here into URxvt where it belongs. So if I reload now, quit URxvt, open it again, now the scroll bars are gone, and we also got some nice padding and some of my other URxvt settings here. I will not go into details about this, not now, maybe never, but whatever. Xresources. It's also important that you do this merge when your system loads. And the best thing, the absolute best thing, is to load it from xinitrc, and there you put this line. This is how I do it. But I know that if you're on Ubuntu, for example, then this xinitrc loading stuff, they are a bit tricky to get working. And there is this little dirt tag here. You can put these, you can load it in i3. But then you have to restart i3 after you have loaded it, so the settings will be read by i3 also if needed. And you need to set like a fake home variable like this. So we could do that right away. I will comment this out, copy, comment again, and open my i3 config file. And then you can put this at the top. So set home, and here you set home. I have written here absolute path to home folder, which in my case is homebud, and then it will load here. And this is important because you see here it's a merge with this I flag set to the folder where Xresources is stored. And this is important for these folders to be loaded correctly. Sometimes they aren't if that I flag isn't set correctly. So, but with this it should work. And now when we start i3, it will load this merge the Xresources, and then it will restart i3. You will see why soon. So that's very important that Xresources is loaded on start. Otherwise you will start every session like I did with a white terminal and stuff. Okay, we're getting somewhere. And the last part here is how to set resources. I think I will make we will continue that in the next video. We did look at how Xresources work here now, how to include files, how to define variables, and in the next video we will start customizing i3 and Polybar. But I really wanted to make a thorough about this stuff. Okay. We continue this in the next video where we fix i3. Okay.